Okay, sorry about that. I'm back. That's my daughter calling. So where was I? Okay, so he dang, I forgot what. Maybe I should have watched that. Well, I'm uploading it, so he got the mental part of me by giving in, and we got married. Oh, I think I was on my daughter that he hurt it. He tried to kill, and there was, I think it was always a guilty feeling that he had. And each time he would see her after he came here, because he came back up here, I believe it was either 2011 or 2012. He came back to New York. Prior to him coming up here, he had a stroke. Prior to him having that stroke, he talked to me.
Unknown caller.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, can I be Sharon Jordan?
Who's calling?
Joshua Riders from Valor Intelligent Processing. Looking to speak to Sharon for a personal matter. Is available to speak at this time?
Yes, how can I help you?
How you doing? And just for your security, again, I'm calling from Valor Intelligent Processing. I do show an address here, a 1199 on Boston Road, Apartment F. Did you have the city, state, and zip so that I may continue?
It's Bronx, New York, 10456.
Thank you so much for that. So the call was on behalf of your last and final bill from Verizon. This is collected by a debt collector. The information obtained will be used for that purpose. $220.57 was just the remaining balance. We were just seeing what your intentions were here on the recorded line, how we can get you closed out of collection. The debit or credit, how would you like to resolve it today?
Okay, well, I have to contact Verizon because I'm trying to understand what that bill is about, because I have Verizon now. Is that wireless or it doesn't say?
Yeah, and so it is the wireless. I can explain. I'll just give you what they gave to us.
Okay.
So what happens is if you made a change to your account, let me ask you this really fast, because some people do and some people don't, Ms. Jordan, and it sounds like nobody told you anything, so I'm going to give you everything.
Okay.
Now, did you get a chance to read the terms and conditions when you first signed up? Some people do, some people don't. Did you get a chance to, by chance?
The terms and conditions of what, Verizon?
Yeah, just to get their service, when you first got your service. Did anybody go over them with you or anything like that?
Well, they did go over it, yes.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because for your terms and conditions, what it is just your billing cycle. Your billing cycle is done 30 to 45 days in arrears. So just for a quick example, if you had it today, you closed out your account today, or made a change to your account today, anything that you would pay today would not be for one day in the month of March. It would all be for February. And then a month to a month and a half later, they're either going to email you, mail you, or text you your final bill of service.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not responded to you, what they usually do is they'll send like 2 notices. After that, 60 to 90 days, they will send it to a collection agency. Collection agency will give you a call. So that's what we're seeing here. It's just your final bill of service from, if you still have them, the last remaining balance from when you closed out, when you made the change to your account. That's all we're seeing here. I don't see anything other than that for the final bill of service. Let me see 1 second here. Yep, that's it. That's all we're seeing. They said they sent it to an email that I have here on file, ABRINA 890 at gmail.com.
Yes.
But nothing was responded. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get an understanding of, because I'm trying to find out what that bill, I mean, you're telling me that apparently the account is closed off into collection. So that's where my confusion is, because to my knowledge, I only have 2 Verizon's accounts. That's home and wireless, and I still have my wireless. So that's where I'm confused. Yeah, I'm still trying to understand which bill is this, or what account is this, what number is this, because I have Verizon.
Right, so what change did you make to your wireless account? Did you upgrade? Did you downgrade? Did you move? Did you merge? Did you add a line? What change did you make to your account?
I didn't make any change. I didn't make any change. Okay, good. I still have Verizon. That's what I'm saying. I still have Verizon. I didn't downgrade. The only upgrade I did was add my watch. And
okay, so then so that makes sense. So that's what I was asking, because that's usually any little change you make to the account that makes your account different from what you started with. They're going to close that account out and then begin you with a new one, and that bill is going to come a month to a month and a half later. So that's any change. That's it. Even if I've seen it where, because I've been doing this for years, I've seen it where someone changed one number on their account, like, hey, for my cell phone number, I don't want this number, I want that number, and that changed the entire account. So they closed them out, and then they gave them they gave them what they asked for, but that account that they had initially has now been closed out because it's not the same account. It's a whole different account because you've changed. So that's why a bill will be formulated.
But I don't understand how it's a different account when this watch was added to the account. It's still the same number.
That's correct. But what it was how they view it, which is kind of weird to me, but it's just how they do it, is that just say when you first started, you just had your phone. And then that's what your account and that's what you were paying with. Now, if you upgraded or added a watch to it, that account is not the same account because the account prior was just the phone by itself. But now you want to add a watch. So they have to close the account out with the phone and now do a phone and watch. And then just say if you wanted to, I don't know, add a tablet, they would close out the account for the phone and just watch. And now they would open a new account that says phone, watch, tablet.
But how is okay, I got that. But how am I behind in the bill when everything was paid off? I had to pay off the account in order to get the watch added. Because every time I would go try that. Go ahead.
You're correct. I'm sorry. It's a delay on the phone. Keep going. I apologize.
Okay, I had to loose here. I had to make sure my account was up to date, meaning that I owe no money before I can add a watch. So I'm not quite understanding, because they never said to me that we closing out no account. They never said, they just said that, okay, you add this watch, we're going to add it on, and now I'm paying for the watch and the phone as well. The number didn't change. Everything is still the same. As far as I know, the account is still the same. They didn't say anything about they changed their account.
Right. So, because what they'll do is, what you have to do to make a change to your account, you have to be current. Now, per your terms and conditions, your billing cycle is done 30 to 45 days in arrears. So, you have to be, it's like the best example I can give to you is like going to a restaurant. They don't give you the bill until after you eat. If they gave it to you before, what would they be charging you for? So that what they need to see is they need to see what you were doing, what you had before that. So what they see is like, so we'll use today as an example. So say you wanted to do the whole watch thing, add a watch to your account today. So what they would do is for you to be able to do that, you would have to pay February's balance, and because that's all they see. Now your March balance hasn't even come out yet because we're still in March, so that it needs to close its whole cycle for them to send you that bill. So that's why it takes roughly 30 to 45 days for your next billing cycle. So you would have to pay February, and then as soon as you pay February, we can now allow you to do your balance is zero, but it's not. But your March balance has not come out yet. So that's how they cycle it. So you did pay your balance. That's why you remember having a zero balance. That is 1,000% correct. It's just you can't pay your March balance because it hasn't come out yet. But now that you switched over your whole account, now that balance is going to be emailed or mailed to you because it no longer exists. Your new balance that's coming out is going to be your phone and your watch account. And that other balance is going to be either emailed to you or mailed to you because that account does not exist anymore. You've closed that out to add a watch.
But that's not what they said. They added this is where I'm lost at, because this is not what you're telling me, and I'm not doubting what you're telling me to be wrong or right, but this is not what they said to me. Because if they had said to me, oh, you're going to start a whole new account, I'm going to make sure that there's no money left over. I'm just not going to allow them to close the account and then I'm going to be billed, or I'm still going to be owed anything. I'm going to make sure that we got a full understanding that if you're closing, because you got to tell me why you're closing my account out. Why are you closing my account out? I'm just adding a watch. Well, Ms. Jordan, we got to close it out in order to open up a new account. Okay, that's understandable. Okay, so now what am I going to owe once you close? Oh, no, you up to date. And I'm just using that as an example because that's not what was said to me. Because talking to them, they never said we're going to close out account and you're going to have a balance. So even if you're telling me,
Right.
even if you're telling me
Right.
that I have a March balance, I'm not supposed to have a March balance because I done paid up everything, and once they closed it out, I don't have no account.
Remember,
So I'm trying to
that
understand.
yeah, because remember, if you closed out today, you're closing out in the middle of a billing cycle. So you're in the middle of March. So even if you close out today, that your billing cycle has not ended yet. So the only thing that I can see that's current, that's finished, is your February balance. You're closing out in the middle of March. So once that's done, now I can send you the bill for that. But right now you're closing out in the middle. So I can't send you a bill for something that's not even finished yet.
Okay.
That's like using that restaurant example. That's like me giving you ordered one plate and you're not even done eating, and I just bring the bill out.
But you're gonna tell me, but you're gonna tell me that you're gonna have a bill. I'm gonna know I'm gonna have a bill because I'm gonna eat.
Yes, dear. Right, that's correct.
So
that's
now,
why I asked you early in the call.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's why I was asking you early in the call. Because what they do is they only stick to their terms and conditions, so they just assume that everybody reads them and understand that, hey, when this account is, when you make a change to your account, this is going to close. This one is going to close out, and we're going to open a new one. That's why I asked earlier. Hey, did you get? Some people do, some people don't. Did you get a chance to read those terms and conditions? Because that's what they go by. So when the change happens, they'll say, "Well, I thought you read the terms and conditions." And I'm gonna be honest with you. Me working here doing collections made me start reading terms and conditions because the same thing happened to me. And I was thinking, wait a minute, I already paid you guys. Why are you sending me a bill? And then the young lady asked me one time. She said, "Hey, did you get a chance to read the terms and conditions?" And I was like, "No, ma'am." And I was like, well, they told me. She said, well, because that's what you're built in arrears. And when I read it again, I was like, wow, why did nobody tell me that? Because I would have paid it right then and there. She said, well, I know, but the bill wasn't even out yet, so they can't give you nothing that they don't have already. It's a time frame for it. It's like working a job. You get your check every day on the 1st or 15th every month. It doesn't change whether you make a change when you leave or you can go to another job. That the time frame when you get paid doesn't change. The first